thankful that we're all relatively close together. I have a flatmate here with her friends, and we've been hanging out together. To do this alone would be horrible. But in terms of preparation, I made sure I got a lot of water, because you never know, water supply is gonna go. You want to have clean drinking water. So I made sure I had a lot of water. I filled up extra empty water bottles with water to bathe if I need to flush the toilet, things like that. I'm a medical student, so I always have emergency supplies on hand. And I guess I'm kind of lucky because I feel if anybody were to get injured, I'm at least equipped to deal with that. And I've also food. I've stocked up on food, lots of canned goods. I'm expecting that we will lose power at some point. So lots of snacks, lots of non-perishables. I have a lot of my things in the deep freeze, so hopefully it's safe there for a while. I have my travel documents sealed up in Ziploc bags and put away, and everything for me to grab and go is all in one place, because you never know if we would have to evacuate for whatever reason. And I'm keeping my devices charged and plugged in at all times. And just putting my phone down to save battery and things like that. That's how I've been preparing. As the storm goes on, I definitely will have to stop and assess and react and adjust myself.
We tell you now that 17-year-old Danny Ram Narain Mahadio, also known as Jonathan of the Kendron West Coast Demerara, has been missing for over 1 week, leaving his family distraught and pleading for help in finding him. Mahadio, a construction worker, was last seen on October 19, 2025, when he left home around 9 hours to meet his friends at Zealand, East Bank, Essequibo. His aunt Seema Narain told the newsroom on Tuesday that it was the last time anyone in the family heard from him. Now, anyone with information on the whereabouts of Mahadio is asked to contact the family on 685-7911 or 632-6651. You can also contact the nearest police station.
He get up and he get dressed, like 9:30, his mother said, and he gone out as usual. He just go our next village. He just go for Richie friend him at the ball field. She said he gone to the ball field. And from then, she never heard back nothing about your son. When she started call the phone in her ring, nothing not happened. They call just like that. We go, we take statement, how much statement the Lenore station take. They help around couple days with the friend them and stuff to investigate. But nothing, and my brother and my children, them search all over where you think, from Bartica to till, me know where this place in Wales, bag, and nothing, them can't find this child. A lot of friends the police them get and take to the station. Well, everybody just saying no, them and no ways about them and see. One by, when send a message to he, and he tell the boy on the phone that he going far but we don't know, but police get that child, the boy, and carry in at the station and so. And that was it. Mother crying, and she don't know what to do, because she said she saw never off his phone, that if he come home, he gonna call and say, Mama, me gonna come later or whatever. We don't know what to think and what to say and what to do, because every single way we know for go and search, we search. Sometime at one point we say, wonder if anybody do anything and kill you and do shallow grave, all kind of things we think as a family. Oh my gosh, we hoping that we really need some help. The police help we a couple morning, yes, but like not enough for we family, not enough. My brother can't rest. His wife, she just get through down all the time. She got to go to the hospital. Tell you the honest truth that me as an auntie, me even can't get for work properly. We just have to study where this child could be, if he could come home anytime, or if any wicked body do he anything and we can't find him back. Like all kind of thing. But we just pray and hope that he come home back.
When the newsroom returns, we tell you how carbon credit funds are making a huge impact in Yupukari. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is the newsroom. President Dr. Finali attended the opening ceremony of the 9th Future Investment Initiative in Saudi Arabia, where he joined global leaders including the presidents of Rwanda, Colombia, Bulgaria, and Kosovo, as well as the prime ministers of Pakistan and Albania. He spoke about Ghana's growth prospects that drew attention to crucial environmental services the tiny nation provides. This Future Investment Initiative is recognized as the world's premier platform for responsible global investment, and it aims to align financial growth with human development and sustainability, fostering discussions on shaping a more equitable global economy.
We have one of the lowest deforestation rate in the world, yet many people are not aware of the country with the lowest deforestation rate in the world. We store 19.5 gigatons of carbon, yet many persons are not aware of the country that stores 19.5 gigatons of carbon. We have a standing forest that is 89% of the country, yet many persons does not know that this is the country that is keeping the world alive. This is the country that is keeping the world alive, and yet we say we don't know. And that brings this question, where humanity is being led. Everybody in this room would say climate change is a big problem. The tropical forest is a big problem. Deforestation is a big problem. And here is a country that is providing the solution to these problems. Here is a country that has kept the standing forest intact, and we don't know. And that is the problem. That is the problem. We don't know because the direction in which we're going is different from the challenges the world is facing. But if I flip the coin and I ask you, which is the fastest growing economy in the world? Which country has some of the largest oil reserve discovered? Then suddenly, all the investors, it is Guyana. Same country, different script.
Amazing.
So I believe that we have to examine our priorities. And if we speak about climate change, energy security, food security, ecotourism, human capital development, and we try to lock our thinking only into the big country syndrome or the developed world syndrome, then we will not allow ourselves to understand what the rest of the world is doing and what the rest of the world is offering for the solutions of in terms of the challenges we face.
Now, in the heart of the Rupununi savannas, the indigenous village of Yupukari is turning climate finance into lasting opportunity. Using funds from the sale of carbon credits under Ghana's low-carbon development strategy, the community is building its own income-generating ventures designed to protect the environment while providing steady income for generations to come. The newsroom's Neil Marks visited Yupukari and spoke with village leader Tushar Rush and Doric about their watermelon farm project and about how the funds being received from the sale of carbon credits is shaping a new model for sustainable village development.
So tell me when you started to plant watermelons here.
So we started to plant, these plants right now is about 3 weeks. These plants are 3 weeks, but they are planted in set. We have first week, second week, third week, fourth week. So we have 4 different types of crop now on this. So when we harvest, we'll harvest the first crop, the second, the third, and the fourth, because what we realize, as I said, there's a demand when we have watermelon harvested, people come to buy it, and then we don't have. So what we decided, all right, we'll have first crop harvested, all right. Second, so we have constant market, because September, October, November, December in Rupununi is like a market season, and we will harvest it in time for 28th and 29th for the Rupununi Expo. That's what we're targeting.
And you told me that you have
7,500 plants here.
And this is on both patches, because I noticed you have one here and then you have the other one.
Here is 7,500 and 3,000 over there. Yeah.
And you get market for all of this?
Yeah, yes,
Right
definitely.
here in the Rupununi?
Right here in the Rupununi. Over a time now, people get to know that, because it's on the social media now. We go on the Facebook or we post and people see it. And we have business partner now. You know, people would call from Georgetown and say, look, hey, I need market. Like people who come in to do, business owners who come to let them to sell something, they would come here and pick up the watermelon.
Why did the village decide on this project?
One of the projects that we were looking at is agriculture, because watermelon was demand. You know, there was market for it. So because we have exports, you know, people who go and work in Brazil, and one of the things too is it employs local persons here, you know, other than going to Brazil, because those who are working now currently here or those who were working in Brazil. Why we choose this? Because we know we can be able to manage and we can generate income out of this.
And what do you do with the money that you get from this farm?
So what we will do is to look for, invest in another, maybe expand, or look for another project that we can be able to generate out of this.
And the income goes back into the village?
Yes, definitely.
To do what sort of things?
So like projects, we have in the communities, we have, we call them community support officers.
Yeah.
We have the part-time workers and we have enhancement workers. So this would go directly to the village to support when there's a need of fuel, maintenance in the community, or any other, as I said, we have other projects that we can be able to assist.
And the original investment for this, you're able to do this because of funds you're getting from the LCDS?
Yes, yeah. Definitely. So this is our, as I said, this is our first, in 2024, we are doing this, and if we are successful, we will continue to do this and expand more, because we have a vast area that
you mean the funding is from 2024?
Yeah, this is 2024 funding.
Okay.
So in 2025, if we are successful in 2024, we know that we will be successful.
But you said you had a crop before, right?
Yes, we had before, but we planted during rainy season, you know, and we were not, we didn't produce good watermelon, but we did, of course, but not that quality. But definitely during this season now, we will produce a better watermelon.
So to show this funding that comes from the LCDS really means a lot for these communities like yours and others in the Rupununi.
Definitely. Because one of the things too is, as I said, it's not just agriculture planting watermelon. We also have, we cultivate 2 acres of cassava farm, you know, so we can be able to produce cassava byproduct, you know, farine.
So without the LCDS funding, the village would not have been able to generate income to do a project of this scale?
No, not at all. Of course, village, many of the communities in general in Guyana, the hinterland communities, there is a way and means they would generate income, but not to that amount. So there's a limited, there has been a limited financial assistance to the community or to the village council to execute the plans. Even if we could have planned, we don't have any more financial resources that we can be able to implement our projects. But having the LCDS has been helping a lot in terms of, again, assisting agriculture, education, health, infrastructure, and so.
Still to come, we tell you about a new tissue culture lab that was commissioned and the new prison act in the works. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is the newsroom. A biotechnology plant tissue culture laboratory was officially commissioned on Tuesday at the National Agricultural Research and Extension Institute called NARI, marking a major milestone in Ghana's ongoing journey towards agricultural modernization. The facility, developed with technical support from the Energy and Resources Institute of India and financed by the Inter-American Development Bank, was constructed at a cost of $450 million.
A new biotechnology plant tissue culture lab was commissioned on Tuesday and described as a landmark achievement that will significantly transform Ghana's agricultural production capabilities. Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa said the current capacity is 15,000 plantlets annually, but with the new 450 million lab, this is expected to increase to 1 million plantlets.
This tissue culture lab will produce disease-free, high-quality planting material at scales, rapidly multiply key crops, and we heard the various crops: plantain, banana, cassava, sweet potato, pineapple, and citrus. And these crops, we want to reduce the food import bill. CARICOM want to reduce the food import bill by 25% by the end of 2030. And these are the priority crops that we have developed at the Ministerial Task Force.
With 11 plant nurseries operating across the country, many of which have long required upgrades, this new biotechnology lab is expected to support and strengthen the overall plant propagation network. The lab was developed with support from the Energy and Resources Institute TARZEE of India and the Inter-American Development Bank.
The collaboration between the government of Guyana and TARZEE in the agriculture sector was initiated during the visit of Honorable Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdev to India in early 2023 through the signing of an MOU. During this engagement, the establishment of plant tissue culture laboratory was identified as a key priority.
We are proud to support the agricultural projects through the Sustainable Agricultural Development Project. So we have been working together, that data collection, monitoring, and for the Food Security Authority, rehabilitation of the soil lab, and all together extension services. So this is great and seen not just on one isolated process, is the comprehensive work that the Ministry of Agriculture is doing in the ecosystem for research and innovation.
The initiative will not only improve the quality of planting materials available to farmers, but also enhance crop resilience and productivity nationwide. For Newsroom, Isanella Patwell.
We tell you now that Minister of Home Affairs Onij Walron has announced that the Ghana Prison Service is set for major reform with a new approach that emphasizes rehabilitation and reintegration rather than punishment. Speaking during a recent interview with the Newsroom, Walron said the government is in the process of developing a new prison act that will shift the penal system towards helping inmates rebuild their lives.
So prison it's overdue for reform. The way we do prison and the penal system has to change with that. In that context, we're looking at a new Prisons Act to where the approach to the penal system is less punishment and overwhelmingly more rehabilitation, correctional, helping the reintegration of the inmate, the offender, to society and assisting with that process. A lot more social work, social element of the prison system, and it is key, because when most of our inmates are young males, and you don't want a case, as is with most penal systems, that where you lose an entire generation, you lose a young person to crime, a life of crime, or an unproductive life because of them being incarcerated. So we want them to feel as though they have an opportunity to live normal lives after coming out of prison and and assisting them in this regard. We've seen it work many times. So it's removing the stigma, but it's also removing the way, revamping the way we treat with the entire system. More opportunities for them to earn in prison, opportunities for education, and rewarding them while in prison too, if they get a degree, if they go back to school, if they learn a trade. Let them start feel what it's like to live as productive human beings, as opposed to being locked up in a cell, like a caged animal. When that person comes out, they're really very little good to society. And people may ask, why should I care about this? They ultimately do come back out, and they come into and the inmate comes back to the communities and comes back on the streets, and we are all going to be affected if someone comes out that is not fit for a productive life. And so it's all of our it's our business to make sure that when they come out, that they're able to reintegrate seamlessly into society, live productive lives. And the prison system currently is not fit for that purpose, because it's the old colonial way that we've inherited. And so the best practices now of treating with our inmates as though they are people that can be and will be productive members of society. So those programs are going to start. Like, for instance, we're going to start a pilot program where prisoners, after assessing the risk, of course, we're going to have them work in infrastructure projects. We have this huge mandate as government to build out beautiful Georgetown, build out our city, and they can be a part of this. So we are going to procure ankle bracelets. We have a few that we have, and we're starting a pilot project where we're taking the prisoners out on the streets, have them monitored with the ankle bracelet that has a GPS monitoring, and you're able to hear sound, and have them out there working, beautifying our city. We used to have this before, many years ago, and them being paid for it, they help to maintain their families, and they begin to feel like they're productive. And it helps with the self-esteem, their self-confidence, helps with their reintegration when they see that they are actually holding down a job.
Now, local distributor Bryden has expanded its portfolio with the launch of the Beringer Main and Vine wines, a popular California brand now available in Guyana. The new collection, unveiled at the Soma Hotel Restaurant at Houston East Bank, Demerara last Saturday, features 7 classic varieties like Merlot, Moscato, and Cabernet. The wine is now available on the shelves of leading supermarkets, offering wine lovers a taste of premium quality at affordable prices.
The Beringer wine currently being added to this market gives the Guyanese an opportunity to enjoy a wider range. So now it means it's 7 more wines being added to the market, 7 options for you to enjoy the luscious, great tasting, sweet, savory flavor of the Beringer Main Vine wines. Adding the Beringer Main and Vine wines to our portfolio is just to ensure that there's a wider range of beverages, premium beverages, being made available to the Guyanese people. We do have an additional 6 lines of wine being added to the one that we have in the market, which currently is Pink Moscato. And currently we're adding the Cabernet Sauvignon, the Merlot, the Pinot Grigio. We're going to have these additional wines coming into the market to ensure that Guyanese have a wider variety of these Beringer Main and Vine wines. It comes in 2 types, the red wine and the white wine. It's a different flavor than what you're accustomed to. And the main fact that it's Main and Vine wines, and it gives you a different aurora of taste and scent. It also gives you a different feeling when you're drinking this wine. What we know with the Beringer wine, it's a pleasurable feeling. Our supplier is Stanfield Scott Incorporated. We have partnered with them to ensure that we are the main and sole distributor of this Beringer wine. So tonight's event is basically focused on ensuring that we make the wine accessible, to bring that liquid to lips for all our guests tonight. It's a celebration, mostly important because We want to ensure that Guyanese people are aware that there's a different taste in town. And tonight, an exciting thing that we're going to be doing is pairing the wine with respective dishes. These foods are geared to ensure that you have an acquired taste of the wine. We're proud to say that we are the sole distributor, which is Bryden's, AS Bryden's Guyana, and we are honored to have this privilege to distribute this wine to the Guyanese people. So if persons are interested in this wine, they can find it in most of the leading supermarkets in Guyana, namely Massey, the DSL. Also, we have it across right here at Soma Hotel and Restaurant, where persons can come and make purchases of glass or even a bottle of wine. Bryden's Guyana is proud to celebrate with the Guyanese people the launch and the addition of 6 Byron Germain and Vine wines.
Now, when the newsroom returns, the financial, weather, and bridge reports, along with sport news. Stay with us. Welcome back to the newsroom, and now for a look at what's happening in sport, and we start things off with some cricket news. Now, the West Indies men's team aim to end a difficult run of form when they meet Bangladesh on the second T20 International on Wednesday, having secured a crucial 1-0 lead in the 3-match series. The Tourists have struggled recently, winning just 2 out of 11 matches across their last 3 T20I series against Australia, Pakistan and Nepal. However, a strong all-round performance in the series opener in Chattogram has boosted confidence in the squad. Former captain Rovman Powell stated that securing the series lead was a welcome change of fortune for the team. The second match of the series is scheduled for Wednesday at 8 hours.
Whatever the stats say, it doesn't leave a good taste in our mouth. So myself and the guys are eager to turn that around. Being 1-0 up against Bangladesh provide that opportunity for us to turn it around. We know Bangladesh is a tough team, especially at home. So definitely look on the next game and see how best we can improve and see if we can win the series. Then it's a better wicket than what we saw in the 50-over games. But nevertheless, there was still some assistance there for the bowlers. As you can see, it wasn't entirely a run fest. It was just average scores, and but having said that, it was a decent cricket wicket. If you bat properly, you could get some runs, and if you bowl properly, you would get a few wickets.
Now, Lenore Primary and St. John the Baptist Primary have battled their way to the final of the Courts Optical Boys on the 11 Pee Wee Championship, following a tense high-stakes day of semi-final action of the Ministry of Education ground.
Both sides were pushed to the limit with a drama of penalty shootouts proving decisive in early quarterfinal rounds to set up an eagerly anticipated championship clash scheduled for Saturday, November 1st. In the first semi-final, St. John the Baptist from Bartica defeated Redeemer Primary 2-0 with Alex Pearson, who broke the deadlock in the 17th minute before Aaron Christian sealed the win with a goal in the 35th minute. The second semi-final saw Leonore Primary edge out former champions West Rumveld 1-0. The decisive moment came in the 33rd when a Christian Austin would have converted to send Leonore to this final. Earlier, the quarterfinal provided edge of the seat drama, with 2 ties going down to the wire, as in the case of Redeemer, which secured a narrow 1-0 win against St. Pius thanks to an early first-minute strike from Aaron Lal. More so, St. John the Baptist progressed after a 0-0 draw with St. Gabriel's, winning a resulting penalty shootout 3-0. The tie between Tugville and Leonore finished 2-2, with Leonore's scores being Christian Austin in the 28th and Adrian Harry in the 30th. Tugville's scores were Roger Jason in the 10th and Dominic Dixon in the 36th, with Leonore ultimately triumphing 3-1 on penalty kicks. Additionally, West Rumveld comfortably defeated Agashtash 2-0, with Jansen Paris 8th and Yannick Cadogan 15th being the goal scorers.
We tell you now that the 4th annual ExxonMobil Guyana New Era Entertainment Futsal Tournament has launched in Linden. It offers a championship prize of $1.5 million and emphasizes a commitment to public health awareness. The 2025 edition of the tournament, running from November 7 to 29, for which ExxonMobil has invested $11 million Guyana dollars, is dedicated to increasing awareness of men's health and domestic violence under the theme Live Well, Live Strong, in partnership with the Regional Health Department. The championship will feature 13 teams competing at the Retrieve Tarmac. It will initially be divided into 4 groups, with the top 2 teams from each pool advancing to the knockout stage. Each team will receive an appearance fee of $40,000 once they complete the group stage. Ryan Hoppy, Community Relations Supervisor for ExxonMobil Guyana, emphasized the event's role beyond the competition. The winning schools from this year's ExxonMobil Under 14 Boys and Girls School Football Championships received their hard-earned prizes at a presentation ceremony on Thursday at the Ministry of Education ground, Carafesta Avenue. Bartica Secondary of Region 7 was crowned girls champions, while Chase's Academic Foundation successfully defended its title in the boys division following the exhilarating finals in July.
The winning schools from this year's ExxonMobil Under 14 Boys and Girls Football Championship received their hard-earned prizes at a presentation ceremony recently at the Ministry of Education ground, Carafest Avenue. Bartica Secondary Region 7 was crowned the girls champions, while Chase's Academic Foundation successfully defended its title in the boys division, following the exhilarating finals in July. The rewards exceeded typical sport accolades, with schools collecting a diverse and practical haul. This included a water dispenser, flat-screen television, coolers, backpacks, and crucial school necessities such as shoes, uniforms, textbooks, stationery, and a wide array of football, cricket, volleyball, and basketball gear. Regarding financial support for school projects, the winners in each category received $400,000. The runners-up were awarded $200,000, and third and fourth place received $100,000 and $75,000 respectively. Troy Mendonca of the Petra organization, the co-director, reflected on the substantial effort required to manage the competition and the impact it has on Guyana's football.
Their investment is not just a contribution to social or corporate social responsibility, but the truth of the matter, I think it plays a very important part in the lives of all these youngsters, boys and girls. Because when you look at every single national team from under 14, under 15, under 17, under 20, I'm going to stop there. Each and every, almost all the players, or most of the players, the locally based players, would have played this tournament. And we personally feel this is a transition from youth football to our national setup.
The equation for us is what is needed to ensure that we have well-rounded students, but also players who are becoming well-rounded citizens, contributing to the development of this beautiful country we call home. For ExxonMobil Guyana, as mentioned, sport and education go hand in hand because we see value in both of those pillars. And here at the under 14 level, it is absolutely important.
Chase's Academic Foundation secured a comfortable 4-1 victory over 3 Mile Secondary in the boys' final, where Westrom Veld claimed the bronze medal, beating Warramuri 4-1 as well on penalties in the third-place playoff.
In a significant move to deepen hemispheric sports cooperation, the Caribbean Association of National Olympic Committees and the Paraguay Olympic Committee have formalized a historic partnership, establishing a unified 5-year framework for athletic development across the Caribbean. This regional agreement, signed during a 23rd general meeting held in Guyana, commits both organizations to advancing sport governance, infrastructure, and athlete capacity building throughout the CANOC membership. CANOC President Keith Joseph and COP President Camilo Perez Lopez Morera cemented the partnership. It builds on an agreement that the Guyana Olympic Association and COP effected in March 2025. This alliance is designed to serve as a model for the wider Caribbean collaboration, delivering immediate high-impact results for athletes. The MOU establishes a robust framework across high-performance sports, technical expertise sharing, and human resource development, focusing on concrete initiatives. Now, with that, we've come to the end of this evening's newscast. Of course, you can find these and other stories at our website, newsroom.gy, and across our social media pages, Newsroom Guyana. On behalf of the news and technical teams, I'm Vishani Raghavir. Thank you for joining.